try another one of these wonderful wines.
Ooh.
Okay, this is the white. We tried the red once, right? This is a Malvasia Bianca. Clean wine, vegan friendly. So let's try it.
Love it. The bottle is so pretty. I love
It says nudie swims.
What?
Yeah, transcending time and space. Okay, let's try it. Where will this lead to?
All right.
Hold on. Oh, I can tell this is good. I can smell it. It smells good.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers. Okay.
Let's try this. Oh, it smells good.
Ooh. It's kind of like grapefruity.
Yeah, that's refreshing.
Yeah, this is really refreshing.
really good.
This is nice because I don't really like white normally. This is like
You usually
very
don't.
refreshing, crisp, lightly sweet.
Yes, the wonderful wine.
Yes.
Good pick.
All right. Well, cheers.
Cheers again.
Cheers.
So today, I wanted to talk. We were talking about freedoms, right?
Yes, we were talking about last episode about feeling caged, feeling stuck,
Yeah.
feeling like, all the things that have kind of like kept us stuck in our identity.
Right.
Right? And so now
Now we're talking about how to get out of, or no, what those freedoms are. Like getting, there's different kinds, right? There's freedom from society, freedom to do whatever you want, and freedom to be,
yes.
right?
Yeah. It's almost like a step.
Like a 3-step freedom program.
Like a steep step. But yeah, like freedom from society, like the pressures of like, what society puts on you.
That you're a perfect example of that.
How so?
Well, I'm just saying.
so?
Well, let's just go back. I mean, childhood actor, and this like sex symbol, like when you kind of left that, you get a girl.
Symbol?
Yes.
I mean, thanks.
You're welcome. No, but
Just kidding.
But audiences, and they have a perceived perception of what you should be to them, right?
I see.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think about it like that, but I guess you're right. Yeah. So.
But it's like you're Jennifer. You're not, what it is
other
on
people.
Yeah.
Other people put on me.
Yeah.
Or other people's opinions.
Yes.
Of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Well, yes. Going into that deeper is, I think I definitely have had to find freedom in that.
Yeah.
Feeling like stuck, not being able to fully live my life because feeling like, I had to play into what people thought about me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I don't know if you've had to do that in any part of your life.
Maybe family-wise, I can see that, right? Like, I mean, not like my family that I personally have, like my children, my husband, but maybe what my family kind of thought what I should be doing, right?
That's good. Yeah.
One instance is I let my grandmother down by picking a university that she didn't necessarily approve of. It wasn't to her satisfaction. But I did what I wanted to do. I went where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
I did what was best for Marie. That's where I went.
Yeah.
And I know that at the time it probably hurt her feelings that I didn't go to a school that she wanted, but she realized that it was best for me. I really do think that. And then she was just proud overall that I graduated from a university.
Right. That's so important because like, a lot of times we hold ourselves back because we're living our lives for other people.
Yeah.
Right. And then we get to a point in our life where we might look back at the decisions and look at our life and like, oh, I was living it for other people and I wasn't really living it for myself. And then that's when you get into regret.
I have come across so many stories that I've read and just a few people that I've come in contact with, like they'll say, like just going back to school, oh, I went to school for this, but I hated it. I only did it because my parents wanted me to.
Right.
And they completely chose a different path of a career. It happens like that.
Yeah, it does.
I feel bad, because you spend so much money and time, when you could be free being you the whole time, but you just, those constraints of making someone happy.
Right.
That kind of sucks.
I know. So like, in freedom, we talked about feeling like stuck and feeling like caged, the different things. I I know freedom for me before I went on the journey of like trying to discover like why I wasn't like why I felt the way I felt inside. I thought was like just doing whatever I wanted to do.
Don't we all in our 20s?
Yeah, like you know, when you're, like so. I think that's like I thought, oh, like I just have to do this, or oh, I'll just do this. It's like it was really freedom. I feel like was based on a lot of external things, right? Instead of looking to the inside to find out why I felt the way that I felt, caged or stuck,
right?
And trying to understand how to get free from the inside, because it was like I wasn't even really fully able to, like I told you, to enjoy like my life, or to enjoy the people, the blessings, like just to enjoy being me because I had all of this going on the inside of me. So that wasn't really true freedom, right?
That's not freedom.
Yeah, being able to do whatever I want, being able to have like
you weren't present.
Yes, I wasn't present because I wasn't really connected with myself.
Yeah, you were there, but you weren't. Yeah, that sucks.
I was there, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
So I think, like it's like, what is freedom, and so is it being able to do whatever you want to do, or is it being free from just the internal things that you have, like life
responsibilities, and that's a fine line. Now that you say that, responsibilities is like, as we get older, we take on responsibilities. I mean, whether it be a husband, a child, I don't know, just stuff, right? It's a fine line on saying like, I don't want any of this.
Very true.
Right? And running away from it. And I want this. I miss this life. I want to be free.
Yes.
Versus, gosh, that's a fine line.
It is.
Right? Because there are days where I'm like, this is really hard.
I think that's everyone.
Right? This is really hard. But you wouldn't, like, I wouldn't change it for the world.
No.
But my freedom to be, or freedom from, is just knowing that I'm going to do things that make me happy. And I want to show my children that do things that make you happy, although you will still maintain responsibilities, right? I mean, in life, you have to work, you have to do things in order to succeed and live peacefully, I guess.
Right.
But just to maintain that freedom of, I have to wake up in the morning and there's this mundane routine, like, with kids, you wake up, you get them to school, you go there, you drop them off, everything's a routine. I think just throwing in a little bit of fun for like whatever I missed out on or whatever makes you happy, like it keeps that freedom in your kind of daily life. Does that make sense?
I think that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Like freedom for me is working out. I can't, do not interrupt me. Like in my workout time, it's like a freedom of mine, right?
Right. Yeah, I think the same thing. I mean, like as far as just knowing what you have to do for yourself,
right.
Like that, like working out, right? And setting your day with, that's something that, is important to me, and not worrying about, not caring about what anyone else thinks about it.
Yeah.
The things that make you happy,
Get hair done, nails done, whatever it is.
Drinking a glass of wine.
Great. Yeah.
With your bestie.
Yes. Yeah, but those are things. But I often look at it as a fine line. Like you could really, some people that want freedom, it's like a drastic change. I've heard of, people that have completely left their families.
Right. And I don't think that's freedom. I don't think freedom, like you're saying, is running away from responsibility. And it's like really looking at yourself, okay, all of this is a lot right now, but like acknowledging that, right? And then working through that, instead of just like every time something gets hard or whatever, trying to escape, or use external things to escape. Yeah. Like, whatever it is. Yeah. So I think that is really important. And freedom is more so a lifestyle. I think that's what I've come to realize, is because it's a mindset. It's like a heart posture too, because, even all of the work that I've done to be free of the things that I feel like have held me back in my identity with my childhood. You know, I talked about being sexually abused and just all the different things that, you know, you experience. We all have different experiences that.
But that was your freedom from.
Freedom from.
Yeah.
But then stuff happens to us along the journey, you know, of just life. And so it's not, you know, we don't get to a plateau or we don't get to a certain place where we're like, okay, we're totally free now, you know, but it's like, how do we take that and live that out as a lifestyle of like, okay, life is a lot right now.
Life is a lot.
And instead of like saying, okay, I'm just going to go I'm just going to go to Hawaii for like,
right. But you still have to confront.
You have to confront, okay, this is a lot, and work through it, you know, and we go through different seasons of ups and downs. And I think that if we don't, you know, acknowledge that stuff, then and confront it and try to work through it.
Yeah.
And keep going.
Yeah.
Then, you know, it's going to pop out.
It'll pop out somewhere
along the line.
Someone's going to get the wrath.
Yeah, later. And you know, you're gonna be caged. You're gonna put yourself back in that cage.
Yeah.
You know, that you worked so hard to get out of.
So hard.
And so I think that's like been like that's been learning for me of like, okay, so, you know, it's a lifestyle.
It's a life. I really think how much faith we have and how much faith we put in God. You and I both pray all the time, right? And I think that's a huge part of why we are so free and how we've learned to be so free.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like we pray about it, we do our work,
right,
and then we hand it over.
Yes.
Right? I mean, if you hold on to that and you don't have faith,
right,
it can drag you down. I mean, it could put you in a deep spot, you know, because you're not freedom from what's holding you back. You're not freedom to be who you want to be unless you kind of just set it aside, pray about it, do some of the work, do all of the work, and then just.
And then what does that work look like? I know that we know what. I think that work for me, because I remember when I was going through, you know, my process of trying to figure out like how do we get through this?
Yeah.
And people would say, you do the work. I'm like, what
heck is that work?
What work are they doing?
Is there a school
surrender?
for this?
How do you surrender? How do you let go? How do you forgive someone who has completely hurt you and destroyed your life? And you're like, but if they would not have done that, then I would not be like this.
Preach it, girl.
You know, how do you honestly let that go? And it still goes back to our faith and my relationship with God. And because you have to have faith that, like, I pray prayers all the time of like when I really had to go through forgiving so many people and over again, you're gonna have to go throughout the course of your life. You don't always feel like forgiving them.
No.
Because their humanity is like, absolutely not.
Right. I'm gonna be petty.
You deserve to die, you know? But you're like, okay, God, I don't really want them to die. I mean, but, you know, I feel like that, but I don't.
Kind of just a little, but.
Just a little.
Yeah.
But not really. Yeah. But no, I'm being funny, but I'm being serious of like, how do you actually let that go? So I've prayed so many prayers in faith, like, God, like, I really don't feel like, in just being honest and truthful, I think is like, I don't really feel like forgiving this person because they did all this stuff.
Be truthful
and
about it.
But I also don't want to be a victim here, you know, and I want to like, I don't want to hold anything against anyone, and I don't want to keep this, you know, swimming inside of me. Right? So I'm going to pray a prayer in faith that I'm giving this to you, even though I don't feel like I'm actually doing anything.
Right. I want to really be petty now.
And you take it from me. Yeah. And I think it's the repetitiveness, almost like working out, right? Because it's like working out is like a physical
but you'll see the result.
But spiritually, you know, it's like okay, I'm surrendering. I'm going to give that to you. And then as you continue doing that in a lifestyle of that, you know, it's like, oh, okay, this is how we walk out freedom. Yeah. You know, as a lifestyle. And so I think that's something that I definitely
worked on.
Yes. And
I
continue to work
I am
on.
told constantly like I'm a very optimistic person.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
You are the most optimistic person. I'm like, you know,
The car, yeah.
wait, I just want to
Okay,
acknowledge. So a couple months ago, I think it was a couple months ago, you basically had like an anxiety attack where you had to go to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and her husband called me like, and I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
She's literally passed out in a restaurant. And I call her like, just, hey, to check on her. She's like, hey,
I'm very optimistic.
very optimistic. She's like, oh, I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
Totally fine. Okay, so I've always been this way, and I don't know if it's like it's like my trauma, like my childhood trauma, which it probably could be. It could be my fight or flight. Like, how am I going to fight this like childhood trauma? I kind of just I make a joke out of everything, but I see like the good in everything. So everything, so it bugs my husband to death that like something could be terribly wrong, and I'm like, that's all right. At least this, you know?
I think it creates balance because
It does.
I think with our friendship, you know, I overthink.
Yeah.
I overanalyze. I go away. And even though I appear to be like, but I have all this internal stuff that's always going on.
Yeah.
Always. But you need a balance of just
Yeah.
someone being truly optimistic. And I don't think that it's your childhood, you know, trauma that it is. I think that it's a gift God has given you to be
Yeah.
able to see.
That's a good way. Thank
to
you.
to naturally, it's like a strength of yours to be able to see things from the positive perspective and be able to like look at someone else's life and what they're going through and encourage them, you know, and see a different perspective because you do that not only for me but for so many people.
Yeah,
you know?
I do. And I think it's not like an optimistic that I have like, oh, it's okay, it's all rainbows.
No.
It's just I'm very realistic, but I'm optimistic. Like, okay, this sucks, but at least we got this out of it.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very like, let's just take the great out of that.
Right.
And
And
that is exactly what has made me. I think my free.
Yes, your freedom.
Yeah.
You're being able to walk.
Walk away.
That's to be able to the lifestyle of freedom because
Yeah.
a lot of things like people don't. No one knows what someone is going through or what they've been through by looking at. But like
Not at
people
all.
wouldn't know by looking at you, you
They
know,
wouldn't
and your aura or you know your temperament or you know like the things that you've had to walk through in life. And I think that is a testament to your perspective and your relationship with God. And that's what it's supposed to be.
That's what, yeah, exactly.
You know, being able to let go, be free, see the good, keep moving forward in life and not look like what you've been through.
Oh.
And I think
and
that's...
not carry that.
Yeah.
Like,
But you have to be able to let that go in
you
order
have to be. There are many situations where the same children come out of the same household, same
Yes.
upbringing, but one takes, you know, I will never be like that, and I'm going to be free of this, and blah blah blah, and I'm going to learn from it. And others, maybe they think the same way, but they carry that, right? And it's a completely different dynamic, and the personalities can be so different coming from the same background. So yeah, I think you're right. It is a gift. I think it's something that maybe God gave me to kind of be free, you know, because I don't look at anything in the past from what I am free from as, I was like, wow, I actually, as hell as it was then, I wouldn't change a thing.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. I'm like,
Isn't that weird?
I look at you like wow.
You know?
But
you would think I need therapy.
No.
I'm just joking. But yeah.
I mean, not saying you don't need therapy. We all like, you know,
We all could use
therapy
it.
is great. I love therapy.
Yes.
Therapy has helped me.
100%.
But I think that is the right way to think about life. And that is something that I'm constantly trying to work on. You know,
Aren't
it's a
we all,
work.
though?
It's a work in progress.
Such a work in progress.
But so freedom and like,
What about your freedom? Like, what's meant to be for you?
what do you mean?
Like, we talk about, like, you know, freedom from our past, you know, and freedom from, like, the constraints of society. But what about the freedom of, like, what you want to be? Like, have you learned that yet? Like,
yes.
Not doing something to, well, I guess that's constraint too, but like not doing something to make someone happy, but do you see what your future holds to be more freedom based on what you've been projected to be? Does that make sense?
I think so. I think
might be the wine.
No, but I think that's the point where I'm at in my life right now. I think I've, continually working through all of my stuff because I think that we're always a work in progress. I'm never going to arrive. I've accepted that because I think I used to think, okay, if I just...
What do you mean?
Well, I think I used to think that, like, if I just work on all of this stuff, then I'm going to be free. And I'm going to be... Case. And I was like, and then there's another layer. It's like an onion, and then something else happens and it kind of triggers that and you're like, oh, maybe I wasn't as free as I thought from that.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But I think right now I'm just at a place where I'm more so not caring so much what other people think, in my life and having more freedom in my identity. And
how does that work in your relationships with, because you're starting to date? Right? I'm gonna just pop that question in there. It's totally different from mine.
I wasn't prepared.
Came in from left field. Like,
I think that has helped me. I'm starting to date again. I don't know why. This always feels so awkward every time we talk about it.
Isn't it supposed to be awkward?
Okay, it's not really supposed to be, but I don't know why for me it's so awkward. Anyway, my point was saying that is just knowing my self-worth, knowing who I am and what I want, what I want is, I think that's important when you are dating in general, but like as I'm really, doing that,
you're getting your toe wet. You're stepping into it.
I'm getting my toe wet.
You're getting your toe wet.
That's why it feels so awkward to talk about it.
But no, I know. You're getting your toe wet. Just a little bit. Oh, too cold. I'll wait.
Yeah, I think for so long I was just like, I would rather just, be by myself and wait for the right person to come along and treat me the way that I know that I deserve to be treated. And I'm really not willing to have my peace disturbed.
Right.
In order to just,
have a boyfriend
or, whatever. So that's something that's like really important to me, and in maintaining that freedom. I don't want to get like tied up and because
the point of like a different side, like being married and free, like I can be myself. Right. So I don't have any, he knows who I am for 20 plus years. Like, this is who I am, like it or leave it. So it's always free. It's that's the freedom that I think that anyone should kind of look for. Just to be free from, he actually, my husband and I have been together for so long. Like, he actually, got me out of the space where I was. He was there from the beginning. He would coach me and guide me into like what I should be. Like, screw it. Like, I will go work. You do what makes you happy. Don't worry about anything else. I will take care of it. Just go. So I think everyone needs that. But relationships play a huge part in being free in general. It doesn't have to be a significant other, but it could be a family member too.
Yes.
Because parents hold back. They can hold a child back,
This is very true.
Right? Like little words and jabs and,
Yeah.
But they can also be freeing. They can be that partner you need to guide and push.
Yeah.
And,
And I think that's where I've taken, with parenting, and trying to, be the best that I can be for myself, because you're setting the example of like how you be free or how you make mistakes, even showing your kids, like it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to, even apologize to your kids or whatever it is. But like you're setting the example of that. And I think for me, like before in my mom's generation, it was like, you don't do that.
Oh yeah.
You don't talk about that.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. And so I
Generations
want
back
her
then
to
didn't do
be
it.
open and understand what, walking out that freedom and the freedom to make mistakes. I think the hardest thing for me to overcome, and it's getting easier, is forgiving myself.
Wow, yeah.
Like self-forgiveness, because for some reason I hold myself accountable for so much.
Parenting-wise?
No, not parenting, but not just parenting. Yeah,
okay.
Parenting just in
Because,
general.
we all screw up.
Yeah, but just in
Like,
general,
literally on
when
a
things
daily.
happen in life, I can forgive other people more easily, but then when it comes to myself, I hold myself so accountable.
Really?
Yes.
Do you replay certain situations back in your head?
Yeah, and I'm like, you should have known better. So I think that's something that I've definitely had to work on, because that's like a big hindrance.
Yeah, you need to free yourself from that.
Yeah, and then so we're
working on it.
We're working on it.
Yes. Well, it takes time. This is a 3-step Be Free program.
Yes. So, okay, freedom. I would say the tools, like what is like the processing to be free is like, for me, it's definitely my faith.
100%.
Surrendering.
100%.
Have to surrender the pain, the past, because sometimes you can't make peace. You can't fix things, right?
agree.
So you have to just let people go. Accepting you're never going to get an apology from someone.
Move on.
And
Sorry, yeah.
and just
Wish them the best.
forgiving them anyway and wishing them the best. And freedom, and then realizing like this is a daily practice for me, forgiving myself, self-forgiveness, and having more grace with yourself, and that we're all, a work in progress and learning and
Everyone
growing.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have nothing to add to that, because that's exactly what I would think too. I think I'm a little more able to forgive myself and forget.
I know. She's always reminding me. She's like, Jennifer, it's... I don't know why.
It's not a big deal. It's
not a big deal. I'm like, what? It's not?
Yeah. Am I overthinking this? Yes, you are.
It's a good thing and a bad thing.
It is.
Because it's like, I do hold myself, accountable, but I have to find the balance.
Yeah. So the message here is definitely you can be free from free to be, free to become.
Yes.
But there are proper tools and the proper steps,
Yes.
Find your tribe.
Find your tribe. Therapy has been crucial.
Yeah. Don't hold yourself. Don't think too much. We all make mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And trust that God has a better future for you.
Better future.
Yeah. Always.
I always, wait, just really quick, because I feel like this is, we've just covered everything here. But remember this week we were chatting and, oh gosh, you said something and I was like, well, I wonder what God is doing all this for. I can't wait to see what it is. Right?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I
I
just can't wait to see what God is making you go through this for.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh.
Yeah. Right? I should be quiet. I should really listen to Marie. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, there's always something.
Always something.
So we just wait patiently and see.
Yeah.
Because we'll be free in the end.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. I agree. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's really good.
Very good.